Yes, y'all, you know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 3. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here, man. Oh, yeah. You guys are the best for being here.
Woo. Yes, are.
You are.
No, you are.
Chris McCracken.
Yes.
What's going on in the great country of Texas?
The great country of Texas is holding it down. We are not in the negative degrees, so it's beautiful. Like so many people up in the north are dealing, like Ed is dealing with like crazy, I'm assuming right now.
Yeah.
So,
what's the temp right now, Edward?
Negative 32.
No, come on, Ed. Stop it.
I just asked Alexa a couple minutes ago, and she told me negative 32, and it's with a low of negative 48. So.
Hold on a second.
Nice.
Hold on a second.
out.
Hold on
Okay,
a second.
my temperature right now outside is 48. So, wow.
I'm Bizarro Chris right now.
Wait a second. Ed, are you being serious?
Yeah,
It's negative 32 outside?
Is that a wind chill?
that's the wind chill, yes.
Okay, wind chill. All right.
Still,
Not
Still,
actually.
that's freaking cold.
but that's what it feels like. So,
Let me ask you this, Ed.
Same difference.
I know this is Chris's turn, but I'm going to ask you.
no, go for it, man. Share the love. Conversational podcast.
Ed, how was your weekend?
Yeah, exactly. So, Edward,
Yes.
at some point, does it all just feel the same? Like,
Yeah.
once it gets below a certain temperature, it's not like, ooh, it really feels like negative 30 out here. That feels way colder than negative 20.
Yeah, because right now it's negative 12 is the temperature.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
with
Which
still,
is still stupid.
yeah, it's kind of the same. I mean, I went outside and I was like, oh, I'm going to throw water in the air and see what happens. And
Yeah.
it just landed in the snow.
Did you do boiling water?
No.
It's not just regular water.
I thought regular water would be even easier to freeze instantly because it's not hot.
The boiling water is what you throw up and it freaking turns to gas. Like, it just poof into the air.
Oh.
It can't just be regular.
Why not?
Regular water.
Because regular water is already colder, so I would think it would be easier to freeze up and turn into snow.
It's something about the molecules. You know how they talk about how hot water, like really hot water, freezes faster than room temperature water?
I didn't know that.
Somebody failed in chemistry.
It's something. Hey, listen.
Hey,
hold on a second. Before you start singing songs,
No.
we're gonna start getting oops all over the place because I don't have my science down perfect, but I know it's something like that. I think it's supposed to be very hot water, not just regular water.
Okay.
I'll try
It's
that.
not about it freezing. It's about it evaporating or something.
Oh,
crazy.
I wanted it to turn into snow.
Yeah, that's not the way that works.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
It's too much of it all anyway.
Oh, okay.
How are other things besides your science experiments going completely wrong?
Me or Chris?
Yeah, I mean, we could just keep rolling with
back
it.
to
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Back to Chris.
I mean, I don't live in negative 48, so I mean, that's way more interesting than what I'm going to say. And failed science experiment.
Ed, how was
Oh
your
my
week, Chris?
Ed, how was your week, Chris? Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Tim.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyway, what's Piper's topic of the week?
That's right. Gabe, back to you.
Yeah. Let's get into some questions.
You guys, man, we must be good at this because we are breezing through this
Yeah,
episode.
I know,
Does this
right?
feel fast to you? I feel like this is going fast.
Does this feel fast to you? I think at a certain speed you can't tell anymore. Kind of like Ed was saying at the beginning of the show.
Kind of like Ed was saying, right, Chris? All right, let's go.
All right. Christopher McCracken.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see which
exactly.
road we go down.
Yeah,
Yeah, I might
left
have a
turns
question
we
for
make.
Tim here in 3 minutes.
Night show.
Exactly. Okay, so I'll just breeze through this pretty quickly. So the weekend, over the weekend, we had there was a guy who myself and my partner at work, we helped out with an outside production company person that we kind of have a relationship with. Went and kind of did some things, helped him out on a few projects. He helped us on a few projects, kind of like scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We'll learn from each other kind of thing. This past weekend, he had what I can kind of deem as his holiday party, except it was way post-holiday. It just made things easier for everybody. So we went to his house this weekend. He had a lot of like barbecue that was catered in. He had all these different wines and whiskeys and stuff to taste because he's a big whiskey guy.
That
And he
sounds
had
like an
live
MLK
music.
party. It's not that late.
Yeah, it was
Right.
it was a lot. It was a lot of fun too, and so it was live music and it was outside. And granted, it was not negative 38 or whatever the heck. It was cold outside, but he had like all these heaters everywhere, so it was really great
Oh, that's
ambiance
awesome.
and everything. And his property is amazing. So me and Stacey went to that over on Saturday evening and had a really great time. It was the first time we'd done like a party like that, a private party with it still had like some music and whatnot going in a really, really long time. It was a lot of fun. And then on Sunday, we just like stayed in the house all day long. Actually, I take that back. We did go to breakfast at this new breakfast place. I say new. It's a place that came here that she had been to in Colorado, and they're only like in a couple of states, and they just recently came to Texas, I think. It's called Snooze. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. I don't think they're in Tennessee. They're in 4 states, but I can't remember what the 4th one is.
haven't
Texas,
heard of it.
Colorado, and California, and then there's one other one that was on the menu, but I don't remember. Anyways, when we came home from that, we just stayed in the house all day, and we're just lazy, played a bunch of Overwatch, and did
Love
things
it.
like that.
Nice.
This week at work, we were doing production yesterday and today. So they've been long days. I've been getting up at 4 each day and going in and getting home around 5:30 or so. But everything went well on the shoot, so moving
Good,
right
man.
over into post-production and getting that started tomorrow. Looked over all the footage today and everything's looking and feeling great. So it's just a matter of getting it all put together and turned around before the deadline. On the gaming front, oh, no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, with all the moving around, does that mean that Stacy's feeling better?
I
Oh
mean,
no!
Ooh,
Come on,
no way.
bronchitis.
Really?
it's just a thing now. Like, she's gonna get over it, but there's no more she can do. She can't take any other medicine. Like, all the medicine's done what it's gonna do. It's just the getting back to 100%. She still doesn't feel 100%, but she's not like in a really bad spot where she's constantly feeling groggy or having issues all the time. If that makes sense, you know, she's probably, if I had to put a number on it, she's probably 80%. Something
80?
like that. Yeah, I would say she's probably like
Oh, that's
80%.
80's good.
That's better. Yep.
Now, she may say a different number, but based on how she acts and everything, she seems like she's pretty much her normal self, except she'll still have a cough occasionally, and she'll get worn out a little bit easier sometimes. But for the most part, I mean, again, we stayed in all day on Sunday, and I really haven't seen her that much in the last couple days because I've been getting up before she wakes up, and I've been, coming in late and everything, so we haven't spent a ton of time together. But she seems like she's definitely getting back there, but she's not 100% yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. On the gaming front, all I've done is play some Overwatch. I really, really wanted to jump into the Anthem beta this weekend. I've not pre-ordered the game yet, and I did not. They had this thing where you could get like a code to share with your friends. Actually, it's more of like you send an email to your friend and it invites them or something like that. And so Hollywood Bones and a couple other people were trying to get that working. The Anthem people had a lot of issues this weekend.
Yeah, they did.
So I got a message from Hollywood Bones. I think it was on Saturday. He's like, hey, I got it. But that's when we were going to the party. I was like, I can't jump in. And I had every intention to jump in on Sunday. But then we ended up just being lazy and playing a bunch of Overwatch with Stacy and some other people. So, and I knew that it was still having some issues, some hit and miss, like connection issues and things. So I was like, you know what? I'll just wait till next weekend when the open beta is. I don't know if it'll be any better, but at least they've got a week between now and then to maybe iron out some of these issues. And spoiler alert, we have a little bit more about that in the news topics.
All right now.
So I'm hoping to jump in this coming weekend because I really, really want to give it a shot. I think I'm going to end up getting the game anyways because I know so many people are getting it, and I feel like it's one of those things that it's probably going to have a rocky start and then get a little bit better as time goes on. But I want to get in there and like feel it for myself because I've heard so many different opinions, so I kind of want to have my own, But all I did do was a lot of Overwatch, trying to get as many loot boxes as I can to save up as much currency because, man, that anniversary event is around the corner. I can feel it. So I'm getting excited for that and trying to make sure I've got all the money in the bank so I can buy all the things whenever it
There you
comes
go.
around. Yep.
Nice.
Edward,
Yes, sir.
what did you do besides throw water in the air?
And not
well,
freeze.
I didn't go outside.
No, you
I know
didn't.
that's right. Holla if you heard that.
I did go outside on Saturday to pick up Sarah from the airport, and that's when it
There you
started to snow. And it's usually about a half hour, 45-minute drive. It took us about an hour and a half each way.
Oh, wow.
So
Was there flight delayed?
It was delayed about a half hour.
That's not bad.
But it wasn't too bad. But I'm glad it wasn't a drive down to Indy or anything. So it could have been a lot worse. And then we've been basically just kind of staying home, doing what we can to ensure the pipes don't freeze overnight.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
So kind of like turn
Leave
the
'em
water
dripping.
on,
Drip,
let
drip.
it drip
Leave 'em
overnight.
dripping, drip, drip.
Yep.
Yep. Open up the cabinets where the sink is because it's an outside wall to let the heat get underneath there and just doing all that and then
Oh yeah.
waking up in the morning and saying, okay, good. It's still dripping. We've still got water.
I know that's right.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, it's been poor Sarah. She got back from her cruise and they all met on the cruise and they all exchanged their little germs and they all went home sick.
Yes.
And
Come
Sarah
on, man.
has kind of.
Yikes.
It sounds kind of like what Stacy had. It's either bronchitis or the flu or a mix of the two, and she's just taking all the medicine and what have you, and just
Miserable.
like Chris was saying, you can only do too much, so
Yeah.
much, and it's just a waiting game, and so. It's a waiting game for her, and it's a bummer that she's not feeling well. So trying to get her back up to strength and up to par.
And not touching her all at the same time.
I don't care, man. It's worth it.
Get in there, baby.
Yay.
She's been
Give me all
gone
the
for a
snot.
week.
Yeah, that's right. Hashtag
Yeah.
married life, baby.
No sickness and in health. What you want?
Exactly. Like Chris was saying, gaming wise, played a lot of Overwatch this weekend. Playing the New Year event and just still loving it, still having fun, playing around with some characters I don't usually play around with, and just kind of having a good time, hanging out with people. Still going to town on Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
Oh,
Still
yeah,
loving
okay.
it.
Go, boy.
Look at that.
I'm at a little over 41 hours now. I was at 24 last week.
Nice.
So
Wow.
still been able to put some in. Coming right from the open world of Red Dead with a little 10-hour break of Zelda in between there. But going from one open world game to the next.
Yeah.
I got to land on the side of Red Dead looking better as far as just
Oh, hey,
everything.
Why would you even start that?
I don't know. I just, as
just
I was
opening
playing,
that-
I was like,
Opening that can.
I'm bringing up Pop-Tarts later in this episode. Just
I
to
know,
make you
right?
mad
That's
now.
but I'm not saying
brought
I'm
it upon
right.
yourself.
I'm just saying I just don't see what Tim and Chris are seeing. I understand their points of view, but I just don't see it.
I got you.
But I'm
I mean,
still
it's the same in the opposite way. I mean, most people don't see our points of view either. So.
Exactly.
So I mean,
So-
all evidence says that we're the ones that are wrong,
okay. That's
or
good.
at least me,
Wait,
since I'm
what's
the one who
this
played
wee
both.
bit? I never had a say in this. I never
Yeah, I
said
guess
one
that's
was
true.
better.
Ed didn't-
One was better than
yeah, he
the
didn't-
other.
Yeah,
Leave me
that's
out
true.
of this, man. I'm not in it.
Tim didn't even play Red Dead.
I didn't even play
That's
Red
true.
Dead. All right, I will give you an opinion though. Based on what I've seen on YouTube, I think Red Dead looks a little better. I'm just.
Okay.
All right, so it's just me.
It might just be you.
That's
but
I'm
okay.
fine
The
with that.
one with the one with the glasses.
To be honest, either way, I mean they're both beautiful looking games. So
They
don't-
are.
It
They
doesn't
are.
matter to
That's
me.
true.
I'm thrilled that
That's
you're
true.
playing this again, though, man. That's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. It's one of those games that Tim said countless times that you lose track of time when you're playing.
Man.
I'm just gonna go in. I'm just gonna do this one mission,
Yep.
which of course leads to this one, and it leads to this one, and
Ooh, what's that question mark? Let's go there.
I know exactly,
Yep.
exactly. I've been going through some old school Lego games this week, playing Lego Batman. Played a little bit of Counter Spy today, that classic PlayStation game. And
Yeah.
I went through and I started downloading games off of Game Pass that I had never heard of and never tried before. And I
Yes.
thought, you know what? They're free. It's not, I mean, with the
Minus
subscription.
the subscription. We know.
Right. But I'm not losing anything to just download it and give it a shot. And tonight, for just a few minutes, I was able to play a game called Stacking, which is an adventure of Russian nesting dolls trying to...
Oh my Lanta! Are you kidding me?
I didn't get very far into it, but it's actually kind of cleverly done. It's done kind of like as an old silent movie, and it's pretty clever. I'm like I say, I just barely got past the open animation, So I'd like to see...
and it looks a little better than Red Dead Redemption.
That's right. Slightly better.
Das Vidania.
Yes. So it's still on the console. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And then I played a game called Letter Quest, and it's kind of it's basically kind of like Boggle, where they give you a bunch of letters. You try to make a word out of it, and depending on how big it is, that's how hard you hit the enemy and how many points away you take from him, and the more words you spell. So for a puzzle guy like me, I spent a lot more time playing that than I thought I would.
Nice.
So I've just been kind of enjoying going through and checking out these Game Pass games. After my good fortune with We Happy Few, I was like, man, why not? There's over 100 of them. And so, what the heck?
Wow.
Jeez.
I pre-downloaded Crackdown 3 because we get to play that when it drops. So I've got that queued up, and then I didn't get Kingdom Hearts 3 just because I didn't finish 2. I didn't get too far into it compared to how big of a game it is. And watching it, I know that it's probably not my type of game, but at the same time, man, I've really enjoyed watching other people play it. I'm the kind of guy that I don't like when they announce, oh, this character's in it and this one's in it, because I like to be surprised. And as I watched people play it, there are still a ton of surprises in there. And so hearing people... just watching people play it and get excited and like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I love this. And it's just been really cool to see. So if you're playing it and you're enjoying it, man, I'm happy for you, because it's not my style, but man, I can see why people are into it. It looks amazing compared to 2. There's just so many happy little surprises in there, especially if you're a Disney fan. So yeah, it's been a cool week of not only playing games, but getting to watch some new games too. Good week.
There you go.
I have to ask you, Ed, are you going to do Jackbox at all for No Work Fridays?
I might.
I know you took a break, and totally rightfully so, because you went hard for October and November. It was pretty much every Friday you were doing the same thing. So I totally understand the break.
It was July through December that I did it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I didn't realize it was that.
It was October through November where you jumped on.
Right. Well, that's very true, actually.
Yeah. And so I've just been keeping it games that I can play with people.
Yes.
So yeah, whether it's
Love
Overwatch or Fortnite or Jackbox, I'm sure I will go back to Jackbox, but I'm still just a little.
I check the Twitch channel every Friday, and I'm just going like, I miss you. And then moving on, basically, because I can't do anything. It's like, oh, he's playing Overwatch. Well, I'm at work. I can't do anything here.
See, I'm always hoping it'll be that one magical day that you're working from home and you're like, I can hop in and push the payload one time.
Push that payload.
Listen, I would love nothing more than to do that. But it's never there. I'm usually at the store on Friday, so it's like
move it with the payload.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, there. I had to ask, and rightfully so. Take that break, man. You don't need to hustle that. You've been doing that for half a year, so it's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tim Router.
Yes, sir.
What's going down with you,
Man,
brethren?
I will get right into it. Piper's topic of the week is a snow day with no snow. Yay, us. Woke up.
Jeez.
Right after a break.
Exactly. Woke up this morning. I woke up at 5 and there was nothing, and it was, it looked cloudy and everything was fine. By 6 o'clock, we were getting snow, and it was because it's so cold. It's a dry snow, so nothing's sticking, and it was just kind of blowing around on the streets. And then I got a call at 7:15 that schools were canceled, and about 30 minutes, maybe less after that, the sun came out and the clouds opened up, and it's been a beautiful day all day. So, but buses were out. They were telling people that any of your children that are on a bus, they're turning around and dropping everybody back off. And I'm like, okay. So we had a snow day today. Piper and I went jumping at Above All, which was the trampoline place, which is so much fun. I met my nephew and niece there, and we went and had sushi afterwards. And so it was a fun little day, and then dropped her off at Mimi's. And so that way Lauren and I could do some work. It was a good day, though. It was a good non-snow day. So there you have it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Other than that, Lauren is going up to New York this weekend. So Sunday through Wednesday, I'm single dadding it for a little while. but hopefully getting some serious games in, some more gaming in, and just trying to just keep work going and get my life together like I always try to. On the gaming front, I am pushing, I believe, 136 hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Oh my God!
I'm not entirely sure, but definitely this is my Graceland, and this is this is the pinnacle for me. Like, this surpasses any game I have ever played for this long, and I can't put it down. I'm very I'm about 3 trophies closer to that platinum, and just, man, having so much fun.
Is this coming up on, and I know it's hard to label it while you're playing it, and I know later in life it's harder to call these things, like, except, when you were a child it was easier, but
sure.
Like, could you say, like, this might be your favorite game ever kind of thing?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. With the amount of time, here's the thing, like, when there's a game that I'm like, I get up at 5, I'm like, oh man, I cannot wait to get up there and start playing. What am I going to do today? Like, and that has been every day since November. Like, every morning I wake up, and if I can't play in that morning, and if it's a weekend, I'm like, man, if the girls go to bed, I can get at least 2 more hours in before it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll have to go back to bed. Like, that's right. When your thought process thinking that way, like, that's how invested in this game I am, and it's fantastic. And it's not for everybody. It's a completionist dream, first off, but it is a huge questathon because there's a lot of back and forth and going here and going over there, but it's done so well, and there's just so much to do that it's just it's so much fun. I'm almost at level 70. And wow, it's just I'm basically unstoppable. I have legendary armor. So I'm barreling.
Have you reached the new cap? What is the new cap?
I don't even know.
Cap?
I don't even know.
You don't know?
Did the last game cap at 50?
You guys.
This one capped at 50 before they raised it after the fact.
Yeah, after I think.
Yeah, this one was capped at 50
when they released the first DLC. Is that when they raised it? I don't know, but
something like that.
Wow.
There's just so much to it. There's the combination of naval combat and
them belly buttons are back.
Here we go, them belly buttons. But it's just, I think this is the besides The Last of Us, I must say, because that's still my favorite game. But this is definitely, this is the most invested I've been in a game ever, and I'm loving it.
Wow.
I can't wait to keep playing it. So I think once I get that platinum, I think that's when I will hang it up and then probably go right into Spider-Man. So I still have to buy that, but I can pick that up very quickly. And then, it's awesome. So I'm having just a grand old time with it. And Clash Royale. I
know that's right.
And that is it for me. Mr. Patillo, where you at? How's the tour? What is going down?
Man, I'm sitting in a suite, like in an arena.
Yes.
An arena suite overlooking where we performed last night as they tear down the stage.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And it's nice. We don't ever do Tuesday shows. That's very, very rare that we do a Tuesday show. But to start out a tour, we usually do a production rehearsal day. So Monday was a production rehearsal day. Tuesday was the actual show here in Alexandria, Louisiana. And then today we had a day off where we stayed here in Alexandria because they allowed us to have the building for one more night because somebody hadn't booked it. And we kind of just ran some more stuff, worked some more kinks out, ironed them out, trying to get ready for 2 almost sold out shows in Houston tomorrow.
Nice.
The second show is sold out. The first show is making its way there. So we're in Houston Thursday and Friday, and then somewhere else on Saturday. I'm not sure exactly where. And then home for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yay.
Oh, there you go.
That'll be nice. So, yeah, man, first show went well. It was kind of like a little weird because we're doing a lot of A and B market shows. A markets would be Houston, Austin, Dallas, big cities. B markets would be like
Alexandria.
It's hard to say which one. Alexandria, that's what I was going to say, is kind of like C market.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Baton Rouge might be a B market.
Nashville's a B market, isn't it?
I think it's becoming an A market.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Because we've got we got Nissan Stadium and we've got Obviously,
Bridgestone.
And we've got Ascend Amphitheater now.
And Municipal.
And we've got the Municipal and the Ryman that people always
That's true.
love to come
All
play.
right, cool, yeah.
So we're making our way there. We're not L.A. or New York or anything like that, but we're definitely
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but like Chattanooga, I think would be like a B market.
There you
where
go.
Memphis and Nashville would be, closer to A markets. Anyway, so to start your show off here start the tour off here is cool. It's just different, but it was nice to be able to work things out and in front of a crowd. You spend all this time coming up with a show that you think people will like, and you have the audience in mind, but until you get in front of them, it's like kind of like a comedian. You can think something's really funny at home, but it's not till you get in front of people that you're like, okay, that worked, or yes, that connected with them on a deeper level.
Did you produce this tour again?
Yeah, I helped executive produce. This one
buddy.
Was
all right.
This one was a little easier because we've got acts that really don't need any shaping from us. So it's us and Jordan Felice and Jeremy Camp and We Are Messengers and Ryan Stevenson and Aaron Cole. And so they're still going to look to me as the guy to say, hey, how did everything look? Did we stay on time? How do you think our content, vibed with the songs that we're doing? And so I do get to pour in on some of that stuff. But, Old Hits Deeps was like, hey, don't do that song. You should do this song instead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot deeper of a job to do, but this one's not nearly as deep. And it's a good show. I watched it last night. It's a fun show. It'll be fun to see it in Houston and to see it in some of these markets where radio is really prevalent, and everybody's coming there because the radio station said come, and then the fans of Toby's and things like that. So it'll be a good time.
Are you doing markets that you haven't been there in a while?
These are markets that we haven't been in a year and a half, something like that. When's the last time we were in Dallas, you think? Outside of the last time we were there was like for some kind of special event.
Yeah.
But the last time we had like a Toby show there is probably 2 years or something like that. So
nice. Good.
The Hits Deep Tour, what we've been doing is every Hits Deep Tour alternates coasts. So this one's the east side of the country. Last year was the west side of the country.
Nice.
Okay. And so then again, next year will be the west side of the country. And it's funny because some cities fall in both, which is really weird. Like this tour and last tour both hit Grand Rapids, Michigan. So we're going back to Michigan, even though we were just there on the last tour, but just because it kind of falls in a weird place like that, and it helps you get to places. As you're heading out west, you try to hit places as you go. That's why we go through Texas again, and and all that stuff. So. Good times. Gaming is on the decline for sure. The most I got to do was during a conversation on the bus. I had my external hard drive plugged in, and I was just installing games as we were talking about the show. So that's about as close to gaming
that
as
counts.
I've gotten.
I was so anxious to hear how the road people liked Beat Saber.
So was I. That's what I was curious about.
I know. So tomorrow will probably be the day. I should have set it up on the first day, but this first couple days is so stressful.
Yeah, and, I can imagine.
Trying to get everything up and going. So we're in Houston for 2 days. So I already told the guys, I was like, hey, tomorrow I'm setting up Beat Saber because I won't have to tear it back down. I can leave it up for, 2 days and we can play it, because usually we're just in a city and out. And I would set it up on the bus, but the bus is kind of small to try to dodge to the left and dodge to the right and stuff like that with the couches right there. So I'm just trying to wait till we get a good room with a television in it that I can set up the camera and do all the things. Because, Ed makes it sound very, very simple, but it's a lot of wires to set up this VR. Like when I just moved it from the shed into the house, I'm like, it's a lot of wires, man.
It is a pain.
I mean, it is, right?
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
And it's worth it, but it's a pain. Especially with this, it's a one-man job. It's not like two people can get in there like, okay, I got this, unless you really know what you're doing.
That's why once you hook it up, you don't want to unhook it, which is the reason that I got all annoyed with my version of it, because mine was the launch version that didn't have the HDR pass-through. So that's why I moved it to the living room, not just because we had more space, but because, that TV's not HDR, so I don't care if it doesn't pass it through. But in my game room, I want some HDR. I paid for it. So I ain't using no PSVR in mine. But you got the version 2 where it's not an issue, so it's just you plug it in. Ideally you leave it there.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been. But I did go and buy a HDMI switcher that had an HDR pass through because my HDMI switcher I had before was an old one, and it was So I wanted the same thing that Chris is saying. It's like, well, my TV does it, so can I get it? Thank you.
Yeah.
I did watch. This is a little inside baseball, and this is not about gaming, but I haven't gotten to watch like Netflix or a TV show in forever, right? So tonight I was by myself. Everybody went out to the movies. I knew I had the podcast, so I had like a couple hours to myself, and I was already up here in this suite, and I didn't want to walk back downstairs because it's freaking cold to get back to the bus. And so I watched the Fire Festival.
Oh, I did too this weekend. Yeah, man. That was awesome.
Listen.
I know, right?
As somebody on the inside, that documentary is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I totally recommend it. Go watch it and just think of me as you're watching it, saying, what the freak? How, what the freak?
Exactly. I told my brother,
but I already know how the
promoter.
story ends, so I'm not
of course,
interested.
but no, you need.
But it's like Titanic.
No, you need to see the
Yeah, I
details.
didn't see that
it's
either.
an absolute train wreck. It was absolute. It was incredible. So my brother's a booking agent, and I'm like, Dan, you have to watch this as a booking agent. You will be so mad and thankful all at the same time that you don't have to deal with these kind of people.
And you're just itching the whole time. Like,
it was like
no.
No, I kept going. Are you serious? Like,
I know, it's crazy.
Woo. Yeah,
so
that
now
was
we're trying to find a
fantastic.
login for Hulu so we could watch Hulu's version, because Hulu and Netflix both dropped documentaries about the Fire Festival in like
beautiful.
the same week.
Oh,
so
really?
I want to see Hulu's and see how it is, because it's supposed to be from a slightly different angle. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Clash Royale and nothing else, man. Just out here on this old road working. Some people have hit me up. I apologize to anybody I haven't texted back or called. These first couple days are crazy. I owe people text messages. It's just these first couple days are nuts. We did get all our games out this week.
Yay.
For the Extra Life donations.
Nice.
Thank you. There's
There
one
you
across the pond that's obviously going to take a minute. It took a second for me to like get into like the Amazon.co.uk and try to send it from somewhere by their house so it wouldn't take 3 weeks.
Nice.
So
Nice
everything's
job.
on its way. We got some Kingdom Hearts going out there and some other things. So thank you guys so much for donating during Extra Life. And we are so grateful that we can give back to you. Thank you so much.
Really.
We appreciate it. Whew. All right.
There it is.
Is that it?
That's it.
You tell me.
Nice.
I think that's it.
Ed, Chris,
Router.
anybody got anything?
Yeah, any questions from the class?
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it!
Alrighty, new releases. We got Genesis Alpha 1 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
Never been waiting a dozen years for it to come out.
Did you pre-order that game?
You know, I didn't.
Okay.
Because I was going to. And then remember I had that whole thing about I feel weird playing it on the road.
Oh, right.
yes.
Because people
And
will
so-
laugh at you?
Yes.
No,
That's
we heard
right.
that. Yep.
And then besides buying a game for myself, I bought Remy and Amara 3DSs right before I left.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
nice.
I bought them 2DSs.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Two 2DSs.
Yes, gotcha.
The wedge one, right?
The wedge one.
Yeah, okay.
That doesn't fold in the middle.
Yeah.
Number one, because it's like half price of the 3DS. Number two, they don't need 3D. They don't care.
I don't think anybody cares. I don't even think
And then-
Nintendo cares anymore.
Right. And then number three, Remy especially was so attached to the Switch that I just felt like I couldn't take it and just like leave it with nothing.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
that's nice.
And it actually helped a lot. Jenny always calls this, right after I leave, everybody gets the sniffles.
Oh, no.
And so for them to be like sick and be able to lay in bed and do something, you can't read yet, where Amara loves to read.
Yeah.
So she didn't really probably need a 3DS, or a 2DS, but her brother's got one, and you know how it is. So now they have their own little devices. We bought them Mario
Nice.
Kart. One of the
that's
one of
great,
the things
man.
came with Mario Maker installed, so Amara's been making levels on Mario Maker, and then the one that we gave to Remy came with Mario Brothers U or whatever on it, where you can play all the anyway. So I
nice.
have not, so that my children could have.
Hey,
Aw,
there
what
you
a
go.
guy.
That's a good
There
dad
you go.
right there.
Hey, listen, it keeps them quiet. you know what
That's.
I'm saying?
I just need some peace in this house.
There
Come
you
on.
go.
I'm trying to have my wife leave me while I'm gone.
That's right. That's right. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. For Honor Year 3 Season 1 for the PC, PS4, Xbox One. Man, this thing has it's had a long life though, man. It's been around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't get
surprised.
yeah, I kind of don't either, but I'm impressed. I mean, it's got some life there, so that's pretty cool.
I'm not saying this to be a jerk, but I don't know anyone who's played it or is playing it.
I
don't either.
Anybody in the community, give us a shout. Let us know.
Yeah,
Because
let us know
I
what's so
haven't
dope.
heard a ripple about any of this. So, yeah, have at it. Let us know. Tangle Deep for the Switch comes out this Friday. DreamWorks Dragons Dawn of New Riders for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Song of Memories for the PS4. War Groove for the PC, Xbox One, and Switch. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Piranha Plant for the
Nice.
Nintendo Switch.
That's right.
We had one football oops, Joe Richardson. The last time the Patriots played the Rams in the Super Bowl was the first time the Patriots won. And Spygate was the undefeated season when they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. So we must have had all of our years wrong. And really, who cares? All right.
I don't think that's right.
No?
I'm oops in the oops.
Really?
I'm
You're
pretty
oopsing the
sure
oops?
they were you know what?
Let's hear your rebuttal.
Yeah, what's the rebuttal? Google?
Well, somebody else, I think it was Toofus in the Discord had said something about that as well. That the actual Spygate, the real controversy came from when they supposedly videotaped a Jets walkthrough or something like that, or Jets thing.
Well, and wasn't it during the playoffs too?
I don't know if the Jets one was or not, but it was what the article that I had sent was that there was also something that was not quite as egregious, but there was still another accusation of, hey, there's somebody videoing the Rams walkthrough right before the Super Bowl, which is what I was remembering. So I said, we'll call it a half oops because I don't think that that's where the Spygate term came from. It was something that happened earlier, but yet it was the same thing that they were like getting called out for yet again, just on a slightly smaller scale. So I still think there was something Spygate-ish that happened that same year.
There you
but I might be wrong on that. I feel like that's what I read.
As long as we can
Freaking
stop
cheaters.
talking about the Patriots, then I'm fine with that. That works for me.
Did you guys see that kid won like a science fair project?
Yes,
like proving that Tom Brady is a cheater or
Brady's a
something
cheater,
crazy.
yes.
It's like what in the world? And he won.
I know, it's amazing.
Jeez. My God.
Sound science.
Sorry to all you Pats fans. I know you're proud of your team and all. And
What up,
that's great.
Jaredor?
Yeah, that's right. And they're a dynasty, and we get it, and that's great. And yeah, all right, great. All right, back to you.
Goats everywhere on the team.
That's right.
That's true.
Yes.
Even if he doesn't cheat.
No, he's still a goat.
There's no way he could have cheated on all of it. So there's a lot that he's accomplished on his own. Even if he cheated on any of it. It's like
That's what I
yeah.
That's what I always said about Barry Bonds, which I know is a touchy subject.
Ooh,
but I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, he still got to hit the ball, right? Like steroids don't help you hit the ball,
Yep.
which
I
some
mean,
people argue is the hardest thing to do in sports, which I do not agree with.
To hit a baseball?
Yes.
Huh,
What do
I
you
don't
think
heard
is
that.
the most difficult?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
See, I think you could accidentally hit a baseball. I don't think you could accidentally pole vault over something that's like 50 feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very true. Yes.
There's no accidental pole vaulting going on.
That's very true. But I would
Be
love
like,
to see
man,
that.
I just did what I saw other people do. I ran, put the stick in the ground, and here we are on this mat.
Can that be a sport in the Summer Olympics? Accidental
Yeah.
pole vaulting?
Just trying. just trying
Just
to pole
grab
vault.
a couple people from the stands. Yeah, go for it. Yep, you win a goal.
Or
There
any
you
of
go.
the running things. I mean, those records don't get broken just all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And like,
Yeah.
or just try one big air skateboard thing.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, on a, like just try a 720. Just you don't even have to do the 1080.
No.
Just go.
You got
Just
nothing
go
to
down
lose.
the big ramp, do the jump, and land on the other side. That's
Yep.
all.
Yeah,
You don't have to do a trick.
I guess that's right. Yeah, you could say that.
You can't accidentally do that.
Go surf at the Pipeline Masters with 15-foot waves and see how you feel.
Go beat Tiger Woods on accident.
That's
And he's not even playing that good right now.
it's accidental
I
professionalism.
mean, in baseball they have bunting where you just hold the thing there and the ball hits it, and then that's a hit. I mean,
yes, sir.
I don't know.
That's perfect.
I'm with you.
Now you ain't gonna get a home run off that, or you shouldn't. But
Nope.
still,
Yeah,
Nope.
that team's got to be real bad. Yeah.
Anywho, that's it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, Chris McCracken.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to chat a little bit about some of the issues that happened with the Anthem beta and what...
Oh, I forgot to say, I played the Anthem beta.
Oh,
you did?
Well, so what'd you think?
What the heck,
That was
man?
Where was that, dude?
Exactly. You're a little bit late.
Well, it was because it was so quick right before I was like squeezing it in. Like I had already brought the PlayStation in from the shed to the house because the kids wanted to play Beat Saber before I left.
Yeah.
And so during nap time, my buddy Sammy, who I've talked about a lot, he had texted me. He said, "Hey, are you going to play the Anthem beta?" And I was like, "Oh, man, I ain't get a code." And he was like, "I got you." Whoop-de-whoop, got me the code. So I go on the thing, download it. I'm playing it. Man, oh, man. It's going to be a lot about what Chris is about to talk about.
Okay.
Really?
Server problems ensued like a mug.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and dang it, Chris, I wish you would have played it because
So do I.
if you really look through the mess, you kind of see the shimmerings of something that could be really special, I think.
Yeah.
I might be overstating it, calling it special, but like it didn't give me the same vibes as Destiny, but because Destiny was the first in my gaming portfolio to play like that.
Yeah.
You know, because some people play Destiny like, oh, it's just like such and such. And I'm like, is it though? People are like, oh, it's just like Borderlands. I'm like, is it just like Borderlands? Or are you just seeing numbers pop off the enemies and that's why you say it's like Borderlands?
Right.
And so I just like the flying, the powers, you know, it's got a little Destiny thing in there. The only thing that I was really hating, the gunplay felt real slow. Like when you hit like aim down sights, that thing felt like and aiming down sights and pull the trigger. It's like cat. And so what it felt like you weren't playing a game that was downloaded on your console. It felt like you were playing a game that was on a server someplace.
Okay.
So that's just me.
A lot of the stuff that I heard from people in our community and elsewhere on the internet that were playing it, there was definitely people who really had enjoyed it a lot. But on the negative side, which the stuff I'm going to talk about in this article is more on server things, but just from a feeling standpoint, because again, I didn't get to play it and I was kicking myself for not being able to jump in on Sunday.
You should have made time.
But the thing that I heard a lot was I heard stuff about the gunplay kind of similar to how you did.
Oh, really?
I heard some about that the flying was a little too easy to move around in. And now, granted, that was mostly from people on PC. I didn't hear as many gamepad people saying like they were on console saying that the sensitivity was too out of whack. But I heard that the AI, and now granted, this could be a demo, and they, I think BioWare came out and said like that build was completed like 6 weeks ago. You know, because they've got to wrap all this stuff up before it goes. You can't be working on it right up until the point necessarily, or they try to anyways. So I heard a lot of people say like the AI is just stupid. Like they'll just stand there. They're not like in Destiny. If you come around a corner or whatever, like they'll try to go into cover and they'll try to move around and they'll try to pop their head out and shoot you and then duck again. A lot of people that I listened to were saying like the AI is just dumb. Like there was videos of people like standing there and enemies like emoting, like throwing their hands up in the air, and they just shoot them. I mean, because they're just not really reacting to things. I don't know.
I experienced some jokers shooting me in the head.
Nice.
But I mean, were they being aggressive, like and hiding themselves and everything, or were they just? It was just you were getting overwhelmed because there was a bunch of them. That's different.
That was not happening. There was not them like ducking and dodging.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they were definitely taking the shots, but like the enemies I went up against at least were strong, and so you know, and I leveled up like. Maybe once? You know what I'm saying? Like my character wasn't strong. I only got to play maybe 1.5 times.
Yeah, they only had levels like I think 10 to 15 available during the demo.
That's right.
But even that wasn't going to come quick unless you were just playing like a crazy amount, as I understand.
That's right.
Did it convince you that is it a day one game for you, Gabe?
Oh, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so if I was in y'all's shoes, yes, it would be a day one game. But as somebody that's going to still be in the middle of this tour come the end of February,
right.
and not knowing my internet situation half the time, like, you know, even with Ed, I have to say thank you to Ed. I couldn't even post the question of the week on Monday because the internet was so bad around here.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't get it on my phone. I couldn't get it on this building's Wi-Fi. Like something was just going on around here where I couldn't barely do anything. So knowing that I was going to drain $60 into something I might not be able to enjoy until the end of March, you know, because this tour goes till like the 1st of April or something like that. I don't know if, but otherwise it would be, because I'm really curious. It looks good. I liked like kind of home base, and I like what they're trying to do. I wish I'd have got to play it a little bit more, and maybe to somebody who got to sink 10 hours into it, maybe they'd be like, dude, this game is the worst. But to me, I thought it had some shimmering shine there.
Every time you say shimmering, I think of Overwatch, because Stacy calls it shimmering when you're just waiting on a match to start and you're just fighting each other while you're waiting on time.
Oh, that's hilarious. The skirmish?
Yeah, she calls it shimmering.
Shimmering, nice. All right, so Chris, give us a list of everything that went wrong with this poor game.
Yeah.
So Chad Robertson, he's the BioWare's head of live services, so that man was busy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he basically had a little blog post and he said there were really three main issues that people were running into, and he kind of broke it down that way. And one was, as you might imagine, the spike of players that were entering Anthem's demo on Friday. The other issue was they had some weird thing where accounts were being blocked from the demo because they were being flagged internally for some weird reason. And then they also had an issue. This was kind of the smallest of the three in terms of affecting of how many people got affected by it. But some people got stuck in like an infinite loop where the game would just go up, you'd see a logo and go down, and go up and see a logo and go down and go down.
Yikes.
And so they did some work on a lot of these things, as you might imagine. The thing with the counts being flagged, they feel like they've gotten that fixed. The infinite loop issue, they feel like they fixed a couple of them, but that's a little bit harder because they're feeling like some of the issue is going between like ISPs and home networks, that there's an issue there as well, which they don't have as much control over. So they're saying that's not 100% complete. They do have some things that they think they can do that will fix it, but they also want to make sure that this demo that's going to come out this following weekend, which is an open demo to everybody, is not destabilized in any way because such a small minority is affected by this issue. But they do think they have a fix for that. The bigger issue or the other issue that they wanted to hit on was obviously the whole server side problems.
Yeah.
And then I just have a couple of stuff here from Robertson. It says the problem that caused the player surge of the demo on Friday not being able to get in there. He said, I want to make sure that this is not this did not present themselves in our internal testing. It's not because of a server capacity issue, he says. He says, we have plenty of servers. We have more servers that we could turn on as load comes up, and we didn't even turn them on because we weren't necessarily hitting that.
Oh, okay.
Which it seems weird to me because he's saying...
That doesn't make sense.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me that you're saying, hey, we have extra server capacity, and we can open them up as it slowly goes on. You don't want to just open it wide open. You want to just let it go as the volume increases. But yet at the same time, that was the issue that you were running into. So I don't know. Maybe their reporting was hitting late or something. I'm not really sure.
Did you feel too, Chris, when you saw the excuse? It was like, listen, this didn't happen when we play tested it. Like me and my 17
That's what everybody
didn't
says.
hit the thing.
Yeah.
You're like,
I feel like that's what every single game developer says. And look, I'm not a developer. I don't know what all this takes, and I'm sure there's way more involved than just what's going on their side. I'm sure every developer thinks, oh, we've got 32 servers, we're good. Then the next developer, we've got 82 servers, we're good. Then the next one, we've got 250 servers, and we're good. And it's never enough. I get that that's not like an easy problem to deal with, but it's like I feel like that's always the issue. That's always number one. People are like, man, we just saw a lot of people coming in at once. It's like, well, what did you expect? I mean, of course.
And why would you like not have everything, all your servers up and running and open? Because if it's supposed to be scalable, then if a lot of people all at once go, then those servers they'll expand as it goes, and the bandwidth expands as the people start coming in and joining in. So why wouldn't you just leave everything wide open, and you probably wouldn't have had the problem?
Right.
So this was Robertson's exact quote. He said, I want to dispel one comment we've seen that we underplanned for server capacity. To ensure stability, we intend to manage our servers to match the player population as it grew. Overall, we had excess capacity prepared for population increases and continue to do so. Yet at the same time, the issue you had was people running into not being able to get into the server. So it feels like a weird
it's like
non-answer.
It's a capacity versus what was the first sentence again? He said something.
He says that he wants to dispel the idea that, because people were saying like, oh, they don't have enough server capacity, and he's basically saying, no, we have enough server capacity. We had plenty of extra that we were planning to like you open it up more as more people come online. That kind of thing.
There was a word in there in that first sentence. I think it was an I. Was it? What was the first sentence, real quick? Because it just... He
said, I wanted to dispel one comment we've seen online that we underplanned for server capacity. That was the first sentence.
Yeah, keep going.
to ensure stability.
Stability. There it is. That's it.
That has nothing to do with an eye.
Exactly. So I'm old.
It's got an eye in it.
Yeah,
That's true. It has two.
I'm old. So stability.
That's cool.
There's a difference between capacity and stability, because you could have servers with a ton of capacity, but like say maybe their speeds aren't working well, or so that part of the issue, that's kind of tricky, because yes, you can say we have the capacity, but what about the stability? They're two separate things. So
yeah. Now again,
interesting.
I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, well, you just flip the switches and turn on the other server. Like,
Right.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
I mean,
look,
you would
at
obviously have way
Godspeed.
more information or way more knowledge in this area than me. So I don't really want to come down the guy, because I'm
No, not
speaking
at
a little
all.
bit from ignorance here, but it's like,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah. And at the same time, that's what the demo's for. That's what that weekend's
Exactly.
for,
What I would be more interested in is data with this beta versus the first Destiny beta, and what are the comparisons, because they are very similar.
Well, I will say this. I was in the Destiny Alpha and the Destiny Beta for the original one, and I was in the beta for Destiny 2, and they were rock solid.
Yeah.
Dude,
They were
I
rock
was just about to say,
solid.
you would think you were just playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I remember playing
now-
the beta. Yeah, you're right.
The only problem I had was Destiny 2, because the popularity, downloading the game and first starting it took forever.
Yes.
Okay.
On release
But
night,
once you were-
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
No, I'm talking about during the beta.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Of Destiny 2. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was in golf. I was at golf camp with Sammy, and that was like the weekend that they were doing it. And I was like, ran to the, the place where we were staying and downloaded it and tried to start it up. And it was like, okay, you can't connect. And you have to like X out of that, then try again, then X out of that, then try again, then X out of that, and try again. And, it's kind of what you're expecting. But I tell you what, man, Destiny, them jokers, man, those betas and demos for me were rock solid.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were incredible, especially Destiny 1. I mean,
Yeah.
the hype was real, but it wasn't like, I don't think the hype was as big as probably it is for Anthem. I mean, it was still big. But, Anthem's now getting the comparisons to Destiny. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's just so they have the open demo that's going to be this coming weekend, I believe, and then I think the game releases in 2 weeks. So everybody's like, "Man,
cut it close.
this is not going to go well." People are just expecting it's not going to go well. Now, again, because this code was finished, 6 weeks ago, and the game that's going to release here in a couple of weeks, I'm sure they're still continuing to work on and everything like that. These things could absolutely be kind of put to bed and everything like that, because the core gameplay, like definitely the way that the game looks. Some of the story, I don't know how much of the story kind of stuff you get, but I've heard people say like, "Oh, the story stuff seems interesting." Whereas that was a big knock on the Destiny side, is that there's really not much story there, yada yada. So I mean, I'm just expecting it's going to be a rough start, and that it's going to. I mean, pretty much every game that comes out and has come out this generation that's a live service game basically just always comes out and feels, and then 6 months later you're like, oh man, this is the game we wanted when it came out. I mean, I just feel like that's how games as a service go, and are always going to go, because they're going to constantly tweak and change and update and iterate and make adjustments and yada yada
Find
yada.
out better ways to get the information across.
And look, we can sit here and just be like, well, they should have done this, and and it's not as easy as flipping a switch. I have tremendous respect for what they're doing. It's extremely taxing, and there's so many things to consider, and they're trying to push the limits of this game. And you know what? Godspeed. I hope this is great to them. And you know what? It's just the beta didn't go probably as they wanted it to, but what I'm hoping and expecting in these next 2 weeks is BioWare turns this around. And like if they can turn that around, then man, they've got a fantastic team that's on it that can problem solve really quickly and make it happen.
What's funny is that they're going to have to put in 100-hour work weeks to get it done, and then the same people are going to complain that those people had to work 100-hour work weeks, right? Complaining about the servers not acting right.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a vicious cycle. I still love them. That's great. Good for you.
The people I know who played on console had that problem of getting disconnected and all those problems. My brother-in-law played on PC. It took him a while to get in, but once he was in, he played for hours and without a hitch.
Did he like it?
And he really seemed to enjoy it. But that made me wonder: is it more of a console server problem? Are they the same servers? I don't know how that works.
Well, they tend to be usually PC and console and stuff tend to hit separate servers in terms of or at least that's the way it was in the earlier days. Now that everything's becoming more and more cross-play, I don't know the specifics if maybe that's a bit different now, but it could have been partially because even though there's a lot of people that play on PC, I would assume the numbers on PC overall are smaller than both Xbox and PlayStation 4. So maybe that was part of it where once you were in, you were good to be in because maybe there was a little bit less people constantly slamming into it trying to get in as well. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But that's great to hear that he had a good go at it, especially once he got in there. I'm definitely jumping in this weekend. I got to make that happen.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll try on Super Bowl Sunday when I get home to take the PlayStation inside and get it cracking because I would love. I have to just see if it's worth it. My wife might look at me sideways after being gone a week, and the first thing I'm bringing in is the PlayStation. Like, hey, honey, just go plug this up to the TV quick.
She's gonna be like, all right, you can leave that out there.
You know your boy love a demo.
Yeah,
your boy love a demo.
So Madden has simulated the Super Bowl.
Yes, what's the result?
And we have a winner, 27-30, the Rams.
Ooh, okay.
Beating the Patriots. Now, obviously, we got to take this with a grain of salt. Yep. It is a video game, however. It is a simulation of what they think will happen. They have been right more than wrong, but they have been wrong. So this is not a perfect science.
Right.
They were obviously wrong last year when it came to the Patriots. They were wrong 3 years ago when it came to the Panthers and the Broncos. They were wrong 5 years ago when it came to the Broncos and the Seahawks. Here's what's crazy about video games and Madden and them deciding these things. You never can intake someone having a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because here's what's crazy.
That factor, absolutely.
They were right about the Patriots beating the Falcons, but we all know 2 years ago, but we all know that like God himself intervened and helped the Patriots come back on the Falcons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, or they would have been wrong again. And so, you know, it's just like, you just never know. You know, they always say any given Sunday, and it's so true because, listen, to me, the Saints should be in the Super Bowl. Yep. And if one person's not offside on the Chiefs, then it's looking good that they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And so you just, that human error simulation could just never put in there, man. So it's crazy. So it's nice to see it. You know, hey, they think the Rams are going to win, and I know a lot of people are pulling for the Rams, and there's one corner up there in the Northeast that's pulling for the Patriots.
Exactly.
And maybe Louisiana or something like that is definitely pulling for the Rams. Pulling for the Patriots because they were upset by the Rams. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. But I love that they do these. Yeah, it's so good. Fun to see how it pans out. The scores are never right, but, you know, sometimes they do get the winners and losers right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is the most egregious to me. Super Bowl, how do you say that? 48. The Broncos and the Seahawks. Madden had the Broncos winning 31 to Seahawks 28. The Seahawks won 43 to the Broncos 8.
That's right.
Which was the year where it predicted not only the winner but the exact score? Which was
there was one that they got the
there's one year where they predicted the Patriots winning and they picked the exact score, or they ended up with the exact score.
On just one of the team or both teams?
It was both. The exact score of the game and the correct winner of it being the Patriots. I don't remember which year it was.
Yeah, I don't either.
It was 1 year. Super Bowl 49.
Okay.
It looks like. I think that's the Patriots 28, Seahawks 24, and the actual score, Patriots 28, Seahawks 24.
Yeah. Oh, so that was that last minute drive.
That's going to cement you. Yeah, where they did the interception on.
So that's the one. Anytime these articles come up where they're like, "Oh, Madden did it," they're like, "As you remember, it predicted it correctly," but they're like, "Yeah, but what about these 12 other times where it was like way off or whatever?"
Exactly.
I've been trying to use Overwatch to predict the Oscars, and it's a mess.
Oh my gosh, it is so bad. It's all over the place.
It's falling apart.
That's amazing.
Hey, we gotta give it up. The nerds got one, man. Picture of the year at the SAG Awards. Freaking Black Panther.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That was great.
Superhero movies never win stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
And they're up for an Oscar, too.
Yeah, we know they're not going to get the Oscar, but I'm glad they got the SAG.
Man, nobody thought Lord of the Rings was going to win when it did, and because fantasy hadn't won game, movie of the year, whatever the heck they call it.
Game of the year.
I don't watch the Oscars.
Fantasy hadn't won game of the year.
I watched that one.
I don't know that was
Return of the King won the Oscar. They won 11.
Yeah, they did. Peter Jackson's a beast, man. You can't deny
So
him.
now superheroes' turn.
Yeah, man.
And Into the Spider-Verse was nominated for the animated
was.
stuff.
It needs to be the sound. The
Still
soundtrack
need to
needs to
see
be
that, man. Doggone
in there too. I know, me too.
Yeah.
What else you got, Chris? Besides not seeing Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah. So we know that Microsoft has been buying up studios and talking about like, hey, we're going to really put a lot of effort into this first-party stuff. And they said that they're creating a brand new studio, and they're calling it The Initiative. They had dubbed it as Quad A development team that they're working on.
It's no longer AAA.
Yeah,
It's Quad
they're
A now.
Quad A. Well, they've actually been working pretty hard at bringing in.
What does that even mean?
They're just being cheeky about like, man, it's even better than AAA.
Right, we have a 10K television that we're doing.
Exactly.
Quad A.
But they are. Good Lord. Oh, man.
I had to. Sorry.
Yes, Tim.
Thank you. I had
Yes.
to. I had to.
Quad A. Oh my gosh.
Is that the show title right there? Quad A?
Quad A. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
Tim.
Sorry, dude.
That was good,
Had
though.
to.
I got to give it to you. That was good.
Had to.
great.
That was good.
Had to.
Wipes away the whole eye stuff earlier.
Yeah, no, that was just this is old man fart right there. So,
But anyway, so Microsoft landed Chris O'Neill, who was the senior staff level designer on last year's God of War. Yeah, and on top of that, they've also been able to recruit a few members of Naughty Dog, Rockstar Games, and Crystal Dynamics. So it looks like they're off to a pretty good start at building this studio. So kudos to them for actually saying, like, when they're over there boasting about, like, oh, we're going to make Quad A, and then they're getting Quad A talent, if that's what that is.
Maybe
Indeed,
they
it
are,
seems
man.
like it is. So they're
all
putting
the
their money where
pieces
their
are in
mouth
place.
is.
Yeah, all the
It
pieces
seems like
are in
they're
place.
they're coming to play ball.
Make a good
They
game.
want no more of this. Man, so we're always hearing all this stuff about Sony, and first party, blah, blah, blah. Look what we're doing, Quad A.
Quad A.
Make a good game. Come on.
They're going to do it, man. Especially, I'm super pumped about whatever Ninja Theory's doing under their helm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see that.
Nice. So a lady named Taryn Marstella, she's a golfer out of Hawaii.
Okay.
And she saw that there was a Sony-sponsored pro golf tournament, and she was like, dude, I should go caddy that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So she got the gig. She goes to caddy. She was supposed to be there at 7. She showed up early because she's about her business. Mm-hmm. And speaking of business, she had to do some business. So she was headed to the bathroom, which was by the first tee. She going to the bathroom. She hears somebody tee off, and she's like, "Ooh, that sounds like they hit it crooked." Turns around, whack! Ball hits her right in the forehead.
What?
What?
Splits her forehead open, and she starts bleeding all over the place.
No.
Yes, she has to go and get over 20 stitches in her forehead for getting cracked in the forehead with a golf ball. Turns out the guy who hit the golf ball was a Sony employee who got in contact with Taryn's mom, and while she was in the hospital, sent her this huge gift basket of a PS4 Pro, a second DualShock 4 controller, the Platinum series for the headphones, 10 video games including Detroit, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man.
Wow.
Some gift cards and stuff like that. And she said that it's funny because she's always loved gaming because she came up with brothers, but she only played on Xbox growing up. And now she was super excited to be playing on PlayStation. And she actually said he was under no obligation to do any of this. And she's so overwhelmed with the gratitude, overwhelmed with gratitude.
That's awesome.
I know.
I need to hang out at more golf courses.
Yeah, right? She said, I cannot put into words how appreciative I am of the guy that hit me.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's not a quote you hear very often.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
so like something that seemed so terrible turned into something great, and she's like happy about it.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's get grateful up in here, even when we get hit in the face with a golf ball.
Exactly.
Can we do
Unless
that?
unless you don't get anything.
Right.
That's true.
Then you can be mad. What else you got, Christopher?
So Chinese company NetEase has purchased a minority stake in Quantic Dream, the developer that made Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human.
Is that the good news?
Yeah. It's wait, what do you mean?
Great news coming soon. Somebody bought a little bit of us.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, so the same company, NetEase, also had purchased, they invested around $100 million in Destiny last year as well.
Oh, wow.
And then Quantic Dreams.
You
Quantic
can just do that?
I mean, they can. When you got the money, man, you put your money in every basket you want to, so you got a little piece of that pie.
$100 million seems like a lot to have to recoup.
I mean, I'm assuming they feel like they're going to get a return on their investment. And you know Quantic Dream is excited, but David Cage is over here. He's all like, yeah, man, give me that money, and that way I can continue to make these crazy games. The only thing that I'm curious about, so David Cage, I guess I should read his quote real quick. He said, we want Quantic Dream to take a key role in this exciting future, and having NetEase by our side as a strategic partner will allow us to expand our creative vision and development to the fullest of our potential. NetEase understands that Quantic Dream is about what Quantic Dream is about, as they share our passion for high-quality games and our ambitions for the studio. Now, they did say that they're going to obviously remain independent because it's only a minority stake, so they don't have, they can't go ahead and strong-arm them and say, you're going to do this.
That's
but
right.
the one thing that I'm curious about is, so up until this point, Quantic Dreams have pretty much only been making games for Sony, and they've never been. There's been always been talk about maybe Sony will buy Quantic Dream, maybe Sony will buy Quantic Dream. Well, getting investments like this, that's not something they're going to need. I wonder if down the road, or maybe next gen, if Quantic Dream will branch out and become like a multi-platform developer.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Because I think every game that they've made, or at least the last 3 or 4, have only been on Sony. Like Heavy Rain was,
Beyond
Two Souls was, Detroit Become Human obviously was. So that'd be interesting to see if they finally move over to being multi-platform, or go. Yeah. They may have been multi-platform like in the early inception. I'm not exactly sure what their first couple games were. But it'll be interesting to see if that ends up being something that happens.
And it'd be nice if they released a little bundle for the Xbox.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, there you go.
With those games
I don't know if they could for those in particular, because I think Sony owns those IPs because they publish those games. Oh. I think. I don't know that for sure, but I think that if they do, then they won't show up on Xbox. But it could be something where anything going forward, obviously, could be across the board kind of thing.
Yep. They're like, this isn't those 3 games. This is Heavy Detroit Beyond Humans.
Beyond
exactly.
With 2 souls.
Beyond Human Rain.
Beyond Human Rain, yes.
Human Rain.
Yes.
No.
Human Rain. Golly, that guy. He's doing voiceover for people.
He better be.
He did.
Tazon Day.
Tazon Day. He put himself in the running for one of those one of the things that we tried out for, Ed. What were they called? Like Dragon's Age, Inception, or
Inquisition.
Whatever it's called, Inquisition.
Oh yeah.
One. He did those, and I was like, if he could act, that would be banging. But
if.
Overwatch is rolling out a new map, y'all.
Yeah, what the heck?
Paris is in the PTR right now for PC players.
That's awesome.
Yes, an assault-style map. They just had one come out in September, so it's nice that they are already releasing a new map. People are speculating that it'll probably drop around Valentine's Day because Overwatch is cheeky like that. And so it's an assault map, so that means you have to capture or defend a point or something like that. And so it'll be, available in quick play and competitive modes. Coming to a console near you.
Nice. I can't wait.
I know. And they say it's narrow roads, which sounds like I'm gonna be playing a lot more Moira.
Right?
Touched from afar.
Jeez.
What else you got, Chris? Let me do this little one.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Before you end it off here. I don't know why this is funny to me. It's not actually funny. It's just funny to me. Sony has dropped an official external hard drive.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
Yeah, made by Seagate.
What?
Or you could just go buy a Seagate hard drive.
Right?
Like,
What the heck?
Is it more expensive than because it's
By
branded?
$100, I'm sure.
it is 2 terabytes, so that's big. And it is slim. It's $90.
Okay.
So I don't know. That seems cheap for a 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
But what I'm guessing though is that it's like 54 RPM. 5,400 RPM. They don't say on this site what it is.
Yeah, most of the small ones, because I'm sure there's one out there somewhere, but most of those smaller hard drives, like ones that would go inside a laptop that are spinning, they're all 50. Almost every one of them is 5,400. So,
but what I'm saying is it's not going to be like solid state or anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't. I'd be surprised if it's SSD.
Sorry, it's $90. What did I say? Did I
You
say
said 90. Yeah, you said 90.
said 90.
So for those external drives, do they require a power source or can they
No,
USB?
they're bus powered.
They're bus power. Okay, nice.
You just plug it in and you're good.
Yep. 3.0 USB, obviously, because that's what the PS4 takes. So I don't know if that's a good price or not. I just bought some hard drives off a guy.
I mean, it sounds like a decent price to me. Like if I saw that, I wouldn't scoff at it. So
yeah. But I don't know if they have just doing a quick search. Seagate has a slim 2 terabyte portable hard drive for $65.
Yeah,
That
that's
looks
what
the
I was wondering.
exact
Was that
same.
is it going to be just because it's PS branded that there's a premium
Except
price on it?
That's right. It just doesn't have the PS sticker on there. So you could save almost $30 by just getting the Seagate one, which made me feel like they shouldn't have put that it was Seagate, but I guess that just gives it a little credibility. It should just be like the PlayStation hard drive and then be like, it's $90. But when you put in Seagate, just like we found out with Soulja Boy's Soulja Game, when you say who it's by and then you go look up who it's by and then it's a lot cheaper from the people that it's by, you're like, well, why would I buy it from y'all?
Yeah.
So they're selling it for $90. Seagate is selling it for $64.
Is it only being sold like through PlayStation avenues, or can you get it just on Amazon? The PlayStation
Amazon
one? Okay.
Amazon's what I'm looking at. And
Gotcha.
then
Wow.
They have Seagate itself. Remember, same looking thing. Has a 4 terabyte one for $99. So if you want to spend 10 more bucks, you can double your pleasure. Double your fun.
I think mine is. I don't know if it's Seagate, but I think mine's a 4, if I remember right.
Yeah, mine's a 1. I got a rock. What else you got, Chris? Besides learning that Forza said with a T this week.
Yeah. No, I didn't learn that. I knew it was said that. I just don't like saying it. How are you?
It's just a preference thing.
Yeah.
I love the back and forth that you had on Twitter. It was like, well, how do you say this word? You're like, well, how many Z's is in that? It's like, well, let me bring up this dictionary.
But to his credit, I think it was Nathan that I was going back and forth with. Like he brought the grammatical, this is how you say things in Italian. I'm like, well, doggone it, boys on and popping over here. He showed me a thing or two, didn't he?
He went ready for that.
But at the end of the day, you're still going to say Sambra as well.
Oh yeah, Sambra, Hanzo. I say things how I say things.
Sambra and Hanzo.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
So the last little thing that I have is that some stuff about PlayStation Plus, and in February they're going to be expanding all of the cloud storage for everybody. Now here's the thing: you currently get 10 gigabytes of cloud storage for saves and whatnot. They're moving it up to 100.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
I feel like I'm a PlayStation Power user. I don't think I'm using but maybe 2 gigabytes.
I was about to
Maybe.
say, like, of what?
What are
I
people
know,
saving?
because it's only save files, as I understand it.
Yeah.
So-
and it's not like your trophy data spread across all your things is that much information either.
I know. So, I mean, hey, thank you.
Yeah. Is it like plays of the game from Overwatch? Will it include that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, because if it was only, because then you need way more than 100 gigabytes. You could save one game up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad. Sure, go for it. But they're making a big to do about this. So maybe somebody out there is banging on the door, oh my gosh, if I had more save room, I could play 30,000 more games.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, what is the problem? I didn't know that was filled. That got filled up.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I think it might. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure it goes somewhat to do with this. Is also, I believe, February, anyways, is going to be the last month where the PS3 and PS Vita games are part of PlayStation Plus.
That's right.
So that's also going away.
I wonder when that was going away.
Yeah,
February or March.
So I don't know if that's more like we're giving you now 100 gigabytes. By the way, we're still taking away those PlayStation 3 and Vita games. It might be like one of those old bait and switch kind of things. But look at the shiny 100 gigabytes. So it might have something to do with that. But I thought it was cool, but at the same time, kind of like, well, all right, I guess so.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, Edward?
Yes?
What do you have for us?
Well, over on the YouTube channel, new this week, I've got part 1 and 2 of Lego Batman the video game. If you want to see an old Lego game be played.
How is it? Is it as good as you remember?
You know what? It's actually better than I remembered.
What?
I forgot that you play like the Batman mission, and then you swap it and you replay the same levels, but as the bad guys. And I forgot they did that, and I was like, boy, they made a big deal about DC supervillains, and we were playing as supervillains back in, whenever these came out. But
whenever these came out.
Whenever they came out. But yeah, it was a fun game. It was actually more fun than I thought it would be going that far back. Yeah, it was a good time. We do have some free games, you guys.
Hey,
what?
Hit it.
Yeah.
For February
on the PS4 for PS Plus. Look at that. For Honor.
Oh, man.
Nice.
No thanks.
Hitman Season 1.
Ooh.
That one's been free before.
Yeah.
I think it's only certain episodes. This is the entire season.
Okay.
I think before it was only like episode 1 or
Gabe's
episode
not
whatever.
satisfied. Let's see. We've got Gunhouse and Rogue Aces, both available through Cross-Buy. For PS3, Dive Kick and Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
There you
Dive, kick, it's all in the mind. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Parappa the Rapper remix.
Oh, is that what that is?
Instead of kick, punch. It was dive. Never mind.
A kick punch. For PS Vita, we've got Gunhouse, Rogue Aces, and Dive Kick. There you go. Have fun with those.
Dive, kick, gets all in the mind. Jeez.
Over on the Xbox for the month of February, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is, but whatever.
You ain't never been cursed out by the moon?
Nah, man.
I have. I was like, you don't talk to me like that for my children.
Freaking moon.
Yeah, freaking moon in your potty mouth.
From February 16th to March 15th, Super Bomberman R. And I got to say, the way that they timed these out is really weird. But at the same time, it's kind of nice in the middle of the month to be like, oh, I've got a new free game, rather than having to wait until the beginning of the month. That is kind of nice.
So you do like the middle of the month thing.
I don't mind it as much when I say them and I say the dates. It sounds ridiculous, but every couple of weeks I get a nice little surprise. So
okay, all right.
I'm not mad at that.
I can get with that.
February 1st through the 15th, Assassin's Creed Rogue. And
Ooh, okay.
February 16th through the 28th, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I don't know anything about the Star Wars games. I don't know if that's a good one or not.
No idea.
If it doesn't say Battlefront.
I know, right? And then over on Game Pass, of course, for the month.
Oh, they added some new games?
Well, they hinted like they did last month, and they were all correct. So I'm going to give what the hints were at least.
Okay.
Kind of like where they gave you the list, they gave you the first letter and then blurred out the rest, and you can kind of sort of make out what they are.
That's right.
We do know for sure that Crackdown 3 is coming out. So that's, regardless, that is a for sure.
Oh, that's right, because it's the exclusives as well.
That's right. That's right.
Doggone it, Game Pass, you are so worth it.
I'm telling you, man. Someone on the Discord was like, I have my trial for $1. I hope I get my money's worth. And this huge list of all the games he's downloading.
Exactly right.
And then the ones that they think that they figured out, one of them is either Thimbleweed Park or Trackmania Turbo.
Okay.
Nidhogg 2.
Oh, okay. Electric Boogaloo.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition.
Ooh.
Also coming to a toilet paper roll near you.
Does it really feel, Gabe?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's on finally it's free.
Yeah.
It's on Alexa, for goodness sake.
It's to make up for all the bugs they had.
Yeah. Alexa, play Skyrim.
She'll be back
You're
in
welcome.
30 days.
Would you like the paid version or free version?
Yeah.
And then a couple of Schrodinger's Cat and the Raiders of the Lost Quark.
That's one game?
That's one game.
Okay.
Lord
And
have
then
mercy.
another game is
How is that a hint?
See?
Bendy
Bendy?
and the Ink Machine. I don't know,
Oh,
man.
Lord.
Bendy and the ink machine?
You got it. It's
You just deliver the news, right?
Sorry.
You don't defend it.
exactly.
Yeah, there's no reason. Yeah,
I just
because you
giggled
kind of
during
can't
it.
with that one. Yeah.
I'll tell you this, though. Slowly but surely, now I know it's two different services, but Microsoft's online services, just like they did going into the PS3 era, is starting to sound a little more sexy than what Sony's got to offer.
Yeah.
Now
Game
it is
Pass, definitely.
Now it is what, $180 a year if you're doing live and Game Pass. 'Cause I think Game Pass is $60 for every 6 months,
Right.
or something like that. So, but I mean, their offerings, the fact that Game Pass by itself is so worth the money.
I mean, that's
And
3
then-
games. 3 new games.
Yeah, and then when they give you something lame in the games with gold, you kind of almost forgive it because you're like, I know, but Game Pass though.
Yep.
Whereas Sony, they give you something lame and you're like, oh well,
Maybe next month.
Yeah, I ain't playing
maybe
that.
next month. That's exactly. Thanks for treating Black History Month like that.
Oh, here we go.
I don't honestly
At least Microsoft gave us Terry Crews
Right.
in February.
Happy early Black History Month, everybody.
Wah, 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 wah.
I wonder if they'll just get rid of games with gold. I mean, it
I think
Yeah.
so. It sounds like it.
just doesn't.
on
I
those
mean, why?
games.
I mean, you could say like, well, because there's definitely people out there that don't buy Game Pass but do have Xbox Live, and they're
Right.
still getting something. But it could just incentivize them even more to go over to Game Pass, which Game Pass is going to be definitely long run is going to be. I mean, they're both services that are going to help them out in the long run, but I think Game Pass is going to be the bigger draw.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
the one they really want to draw.
And
people
Game
over to.
Pass is a la carte, right? You don't have to have gold or live
No,
to have
you
Game
don't.
Pass.
I mean, but if a game is an online game, you'll need gold to play that game.
Got it.
That's
if it's
the
in
problem.
part of Game Pass, yeah. So there are going to be games where you're going to need both. Like if you bought Game Pass and you got Sea of Thieves, like you can't do jack with that game if you didn't have gold.
Right.
Gotcha.
So-
Right.
So here's the question. Have we gotten to a point in our gaming culture to where offering the fact that you can play online is not worth $60 a year anymore if it's not bundled with the games? Because say they take away the free games, what do you feel like you're left with is just the ability to play online?
Right.
Does that still feel like it's worth $60?
Yeah, but
when
they've only been doing games with gold. I mean, for them,
But
and
how long you got to do something? You know what I'm saying? For people to get used to it.
I mean, I could be speaking out of turn, but I don't care. Like I don't pay for I don't even when I bought PlayStation Plus, which back because they were doing games beforehand, I didn't necessarily do it for the games. That was like a nice little bonus. I don't demand it necessarily.
I mean, if anything, I could understand if they put the online portion in Game Pass and then bumped up the cost of Game Pass a couple bucks. I could see them doing something like that.
Yeah, I could see that, and
That's what I
I
was gonna
could
say if they bump down the price, if they said, "Hey guys, we're not doing free games anymore with games with gold. We're not doing that. That's going away. We're just doing Game Pass, and your online thing now is $30 to $40 a year." I'd be like, "Oh, okay, I can see that."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they could maybe do something like that. I could totally see Microsoft early on, like let's say whatever next generation is going to be called for each of their systems, and let's say they start around the same time. I could totally see out the gate or within the first year or so, Microsoft getting crazy with it and being like, look, Game Pass and all online play is free. Mm-hmm. I could just see them like doing
Taking it back
the
to the old
opposite.
days?
Yeah, because like, well, I think you've always had to pay for it on there. Maybe not in the original Xbox. Maybe that was free. But I think Xbox Live has
say
always
Sony
cost
you did.
money. Yeah, and Sony's was free. I could see it flipping.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, I think Sony's going to end up following suit. somewhere down the road.
Of
I mean,
course.
they're sticking with PlayStation Now, and they've been improving it, and also they added on the ability to download games, at least PlayStation 4 games. So I see at some point that PS Now is going to probably reach a price parity. I think the Game Pass price is going to end up going up, and I think that Now's price may come down a little bit. Money. Well, I don't know whether they are or they aren't, but I do know at the end of the day they're in a much better position to be able to do that because they have way more on there. Now, I think when you just look at the library currently, PlayStation Now, again, only the PlayStation 4 ones are downloadable, but I think their library is vastly larger than Game Pass is right now. Mm-hmm. But at some point, Game Pass is going to get just almost to where it's negligible. You know what I mean? I think they're going to even themselves out in price, and then I could see both of them going that the online service part is free. Because the whole big kicker here is that nobody on PC pays to play online anywhere. It's only the console markets that do this, as I understand it.
That's right. Yeah, PC you don't pay.
That's true.
So just as more and more this whole crossplay becomes like a big legit thing and all that, and just keeps going pushing forward, it's like at some point console players are gonna be like, why are we having to pay to do this? Mm-hmm. I think that so it's going to become as they become each side becomes more and more service heavy. I think they're just going to pick their service as their must have, which will likely be Game Pass and maybe PS Now. I don't know. And I think that they'll kind of stick with that, and they could the whole entice you to stay on this other service and maybe to be throw in online on free again. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a wacky prediction I have.
That's actually a pretty good prediction, I think, because I was just reading an article about how, with Sony not at E3, the people at Xbox saying, what should we do? Should we kind of throttle back a little? And they were like, no, let's go bigger than ever this year. Mm-hmm. So I could see them saying, online play is free now.
They'd be smart,
kick them while they're down. This is the only time you're going to be able to really catch Sony, for lack of a better term, with their pants down.
Right.
You're not going to be able to say something and then be able to immediately respond.
I hear what you're saying, and that on the surface, I feel like that sounds like such a great idea. But to me, it would be such a bigger power play. Let's just say that both of the next-gen consoles come out at the same, assuming they're going to happen, and that they both come out the same year. Because in the PlayStation 3 year, the Xbox had a 1 year head start, and and everything like that. So let's just say they're going to launch at the same time. Like this generation is lost, and there's no way that Microsoft can win it, come back from behind and win it. So to me, if I were them, granted I don't have visual of their numbers and everything, I'd be like, man, let's just ride this out, keep things the way that it is, but continue to make our services even better. And then when the next generation starts, bam, hit them with so many things. It's like there's no way I can choose to go with Sony because most families can only buy one console, at least in the beginning days. I have to go with Microsoft because they're offering me so much. I could see such a power play mic drop at the beginning of that and just keeping things rolling as is right now and keep.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that'd be the smarter play, but Microsoft's getting wacky. They can do it. You'll probably do whatever,
That's true. Is that it from you, Ed?
That's it from me, yes. Back to you.
Well, each week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you guys, stealing from KT 120, is it?
Yeah.
What is your favorite moment or sequence in gaming? Starting over on Discord, and this made me so happy. Jared Orr. My favorite gaming moment just happened last weekend.
Yeah, it did.
I finally got the Platinum Trophy for Overwatch.
Yep.
It was the culmination of playing since Overwatch released in 2016 and all the help from the community helping me get all the 4 kills with so-and-so's ultimate. It was epic and made me love our community even more.
I was so bummed I missed it when Chris got his. I was so glad to be there when that one popped up for Jared. That was fun.
Right? I can't wait to watch it. I still haven't watched it yet. I need to go back and watch it. I played it with him. I played Overwatch with him for like 2 seconds the other day. And he was like, I got the platinum. I was like, really? He was like, I put it on the Discord. I was like, shoot, I need to check that. So I can't wait to go see it. Stumpwater Jack, I can't decide on my favorite, but one that will always stick with me is from The Last of Us, when you find the giraffe.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Yes.
It was such a breath of fresh air and sweet moment. I legitimately sat there for 10 minutes just watching.
Nice.
So nice. So nice.
I totally agree with that. Totally. B-Dog 1221, top 3. I'll start at 3. 3, When Kanto region opened in Pokemon Silver, you essentially got 2 games for the price of 1, and no one knew. Number 2, Whale Chase in Sonic Adventure. Don't think graphics could get any better than that. I totally agree. Sonic Adventure, when that first came out and you're running and the camera switches to looking right at you and there's a whale chasing you, at that time you were like, oh, well, gaming's not going to get better than we've hit the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Really?
And then number 1, he says Mario 64 because it was my first 3D game.
Oh, nice.
I like it. Over on Twitter, we got Nate Imberg at Nate Imberg. The first thing that comes to mind is the 1,000 Heartless fight in Kingdom Hearts 2. Other than that, just playing Smash Bros. With friends. And that was actually echoed by Gassy Redneck. He said it was the best 5 minutes ever.
Wow.
Graham at GHammocks14. The start of BioShock on the 360. I didn't realize the game had turned control over to me, and I just was still sitting there watching it.
Oh, nice.
I like that. I love when that happens.
Right?
When you're like, oh, snap, I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yes.
Juan Pedro Garcia at JP Garcia04. Red Dead Redemption 2, hands down. I just beat the game, and towards the end, when music started playing, I began to tear up. Those moments of riding my horse across the plain, knowing why and how this was going to end, were the best in my gaming life.
Nice.
Just got chills.
Thanks, Rockstar Games. Yeah, you too, Edward? Did you love that?
Oh, it's so nice. Beautiful.
Nice. Over on the Facebook group, we got Daniel High. Has to be all gillied up from Call of Duty. This mission grabbed me more than any other video game ever. The sheer intensity of lying prone while enemies walk by was so realistic. I found myself sitting perfectly still in my gamer chair while also watching my breathing. Good times.
That's awesome.
All gillied up, I wish, is a section of video game I wish every gamer could experience. It was, Chris, don't you think that it was like it turned a page for me in gaming. I was like,
yeah,
I didn't know gaming could be this intense.
Yeah.
Like to where like you felt it in your body, like, and the tanks going by. Oh my gosh. Steve Sabold says, would you kindly? BioShock. Don't want to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't yet played this incredible game. Everyone should. But that moment in BioShock was one I will never forget. Amazing. And then actually Gonzo replied to him and he says, a man chooses, a slave obeys. Like maybe carrying on the conversation. Again, didn't like BioShock, so I didn't play it. But I'm glad that they enjoyed that part of that game. All right. Jeff Swan. Oh, I don't know how to say this. Findrana drifts in Metroid Prime. You dive down a super deep, creepy research station tunnel, get to the bottom, the lights go out, and you find the thermal visor, which lets you only see things in black and red based on temperature. Then Metroids make their first appearance in the game by breaking out of all the glass cases, and you're stuck climbing up this long tower in the dark, seeing these freaky Metroids fly at you. I was playing it on a projector with surround sound, and for 2003, it was a truly groundbreaking sequence in what gaming could be. Runner-up, Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid, and fighting Aeonis in Final Fantasy X. Aeons in Final Fantasy X. I don't know how to say that. Reading's hard.
Reading's hard.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah, it is. You know where to find us, Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, you come over to Married to the Games, you know what I'm saying? Check out the shop, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself a mug, whatnot. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/Married to the Games. Now on Patreon, Patreon.com/MTTG. And Edward.
Rate us on iTunes, leave a review, and maybe you'll get 200 gigs of storage space.
Yay! Unnecessarily.
Unnecessarily. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you will. But maybe. We'll see what happens.
But you have to rate us on iTunes to find out.
That's right. To be continued.
Well, yeah, exactly. TBD. Well, let's get into some questions.
We're going to start with Discord. Mark Boucher, have you guys jumped into a sequel of a game series without playing the previous games? I jumped into Kingdom Hearts 3 last night. Not
Lord.
advisable.
Yes. Yes, Mark
Nice,
Boucher.
Mark. Oh, that's
That's
bold,
what you
man.
get.
That
you
is
should have known
bold.
better. It took almost 20 years for that game to come out. You should know you can't just jump in and know what's going on.
Oh.
They don't know what's going on.
Right?
Chris, you ever jump into a game?
Yeah, I've jumped into a lot of games without playing the first in the series. My first Assassin's Creed was Black Flag.
Yep. Same.
My first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2. Actually, no, Modern Warfare 1, I guess it was. So that wasn't the first Call of Duty, but it was, I guess, the first in the Modern Warfare series. So I guess that one technically doesn't count. And then my favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid, is technically a sequel to Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, which are on MSX. So
Yes. What say you, Edward?
All of those that Chris said, my first Metal Gear was 5. My first Far Cry was 3. My first Bioshock was Infinite.
Yes.
And my first Crackdown is about to be 3.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Oh, and
Yeah,
my first
mine-
Borderlands was 2.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Mine
Tim?
mine was I played Uncharted 2. I've never played
Yeah?
the original Uncharted.
Oh, wow.
Assassin's
Oh, you
Creed
still haven't?
Brotherhood. Nope.
What?
I have the I have the
Wow.
collection, so I need to go back and play.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Maybe I should
That's a good
do
one.
that in between Spider-Man.
You're not going to do that.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm doing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would do Spider-Man.
Okay, perfect. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was my first Assassin's Creed. Far Cry 3. I did play a Modern Warfare. I played Modern Warfare 3. That's the only one I played. Yeah, so quite a few.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are
Gabe?
good at you guys are good at remembering that. I don't know. Yes to well, shoot, I played 1 and 2 BioShocks. Doggone it. Mass Effect. I think I jumped in at 2.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
On that one, and I loved it so much I played 3. I jumped into Persona at 4.
Oh, nice.
I jumped into I played the first 2 Assassin's Creeds.
Oh, you did? I didn't know.
And they were boring as all get out. Shoot, man, I can't really think of any. But yeah, I mean, I had to jump into something else at the second one for sure.
What about Final Fantasy? Did you play all those?
Nope, started at 7, and then went back and touched a couple of the other ones, but never played them all the way through. I think the one I played the most besides 7 is probably 9, and then beat 10.
Did you play the first Kingdom Hearts?
Yep.
Yeah.
Played 1 and 2 of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if I beat the second one of Kingdom Hearts.
But you didn't play the 1.852 remix or whatever, did you?
Well, that was after.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't bother with those.
All right, gotcha.
Daddy ain't got time for that.
Nice. That's a good question. I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
And Godspeed on Kingdom Hearts, man. Woo.
Yeah, you might want to watch a YouTube video.
Or 2 or 3.
Get a refresher.
KT120. Hello, guys. My question is again another music-based one. If you had to bring together a video game band, what characters would you pick to be in it? So what character would be on drums? Who would be on bass, vocals, etc.? Looking forward to hearing your answers.
Oh my gosh, that's tough.
Wow, Lord. Can't even imagine.
Shoot. I'm gonna have I have Kratos on drums.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
That's
Who's somebody that beats a lot?
That is perfect.
Yeah.
Kratos on drums. Yep.
I think I want the Devil May Cry guy as the lead singer,
Ooh.
Okay.
just because he looks like a lead singer.
Yeah.
I'll take Barrett from Final Fantasy VII on bass, because that's stereotypical.
I don't get that reference.
Yeah, I don't understand that
just because Barrett's black. He's big and black.
I thought it was gonna be like, so people that have weapons for hands, they play bass. Okay, stereotype. Got it.
Because that's stereotypical.
On lead guitar. Oh man, that's a tough one.
Man, this is a tough question.
This is a really tough question. Should we collectively do it?
I want the chick from Space Channel 5 on lead guitar, and I want Parappa the Rapper as the hype man.
Nice.
You're filling it out. I love it.
Dude, you got
I'm
this.
filling it out,
Jeez,
baby.
man,
I'm going.
I'm not gonna do good at this one.
And on rhythm guitar, I'll take. Oh shoot, he's a little crazy. On rhythm guitar, just holding it down, I'll take Hanzo
Ooh,
from Overwatch. Oh, Edward.
Jeez.
Good luck.
Yeah, you ain't got to do everybody, but
I don't know their names. What? In the most recent Final Fantasy, there were 4 guys that looked like a band.
Yeah.
exactly. Just
go
all
with
of
all
them.
them.
Those
Noctis
guys.
was one of them.
Those
I don't
guys.
know the
Noctis.
other ones.
Yep, the blonde guy, the dark-haired guy, and the guy with the glasses.
Yep, I'll take them.
Okay, that
Jeez.
sounds about right. They did look like a band already. That's really funny. What you got, Chris?
Oh, shoot. Drums, I'm going Kratos as well, but I'm doing Kratos from God of War 3.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do that.
Angry.
And really ticked off Kratos. Really wanting to pound on a lot of things.
Like Monster.
Yeah. Shoot. On bass,
I mean Animal from Muppet Babies.
actually on acoustic guitar, we'll have Joel.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
There you go.
Not Ellie, huh?
Yeah, she might fill in here and there, you know. On bass, I'm going to stick with you. Just because you're the expert over here, I'll go with Barrett.
That's right. He only got one hand, but he can put it down. You know what I'm saying?
But the weird thing is that our singer's going to be super goth. I'm going with Reaper.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Die.
Right?
it's a metal band.
And then our hype man, I actually haven't played this game because I don't think it exists yet, but in a future game, there's going to be some NPC that talks about being real cold outside. I'm going to go with that guy.
Come on now, baby.
That's going to be our hype
it is.
man.
Sure, it's cold out here.
Yeah.
Right?
There it's going out there. That's awesome.
And I think that's
I
my
like it.
band.
There you
Nice.
go. Router.
Yeah, mine's gonna be Kratos on drums. That's really good. I'm thinking I think Delson from Second Son could be bass.
I thought of him for something.
Yeah.
Mellow. Either
Yeah, I
mellow,
like that.
maybe bass or rhythm guitar. I don't know. Not a front man, but close. Yeah. I'm kind of staying in the Second Son realm. Who's the girl? What was her name?
Fetch.
Fetch.
Fetch is.
She should
Fetch
be your
might
lead
actually be
singer.
a singer. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's my singer. She'll be
I
my
like
singer.
that.
So we're and then I need a guitarist. I wonder if Ellie could rock out an electric guitar. So we'll go with that.
I like it.
There you go.
Man, that
That
tough.
works.
That
took some
tough
brain
one.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That took,
Right?
I'm sweating over here. That's crazy. Good question. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate it. All right, Beefmaster Serta, can you remember a time going to a restaurant and having your life forever changed by what you ate? Mine would be my first family-style meal at Maggiano's. Oh, there you go.
I was starving. We were in Luxembourg, which is the name of the city and the country.
Yes, it is.
And I was really hungry, and I hadn't eaten all day because I'm not that adventurous. And I was sitting at the bar, and I was talking to the bartender. I was like, "Yeah, I just need something to eat." And he was like, "You want to try our burger?" And I was like, "I'm kind of a burger aficionado. Is it any good?" He's like, "There's a fried egg on it." And I was like, "What?" I never had a fried egg on a burger, and it set me free.
Yes, sir. That
So
is
at the bar at our
beautiful.
hotel in Luxembourg.
I love it. I love that.
Ed?
I was at a coffee shop and ordered a sandwich, and they forgot to put the cheese on the sandwich, so the barista came out with a plate of various cheeses. The coffee shop was Brew Dailies, and the barista was Sarah.
Oh, snap. Is that how y'all first met?
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
snap.
perfect.
Yeah, you're forever changed for sure.
Oh, that is perfect, Ed. Well done.
See, Jenny worked at a restaurant, but she worked at the same restaurant as a girl I was actually dating at the time. Oh, jeez. So we hadn't met yet. So nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
No further
It wasn't
comments.
P.F. Chang's. Maybe it
amazing.
was. Chris?
It was awesome.
So the thing that I had that kind of like blew my mind, we went to. Y'all know who the Pioneer Woman is?
Nope.
She's some lady who has. She's no.
Oh, man.
She's got like a show, one of those cooking shows on one of the cooking channels, and she also has a restaurant and a whole store, and it's kind of like Magnolia, but it's a similar kind of deal, which is like that kind of stuff, but it's up in near Tulsa, Oklahoma. Anyways,
Gotcha.
I went there and they had a restaurant, and you have lunch, and all the food was really, really, really good. And then we're looking at the dessert menu, and we just get like one of everything almost because we're a big group and we're sharing it. And one of the things on there was prune cake, and I was like, I know what I'm not going to be eating.
Right?
It came down to it, it's like everybody's saying, oh, you got to try it. So I tried it. Good gravy. Was that a good cake?
Really?
Oh my
Really?
gosh, blew my mind. I was like, I want one of these for myself.
Prune cake.
I'm telling you,
cake.
sounds like the dumbest thing in the world. It was like heaven.
It
It
sounds
was so
disgusting.
good. I'm
Sounds
telling
like
you.
you're going to be in the bathroom.
I'm telling
for a
you, it
while.
was so good.
You don't have to take us there when we visit if you don't want.
We're not gonna be driving up there. Trust me, that's way too far to drive. But if you're ever in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, and you go there, you need to try the prune cake. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
That's awesome.
All right.
For our 10-year anniversary, Lauren and I went to Italy, and we went to this town called Parma, which kind of reminds me of like a Franklin. It's more of a country, very rural farm area. And we went to this restaurant. We were supposed to have reservations. We didn't. They were able to seat us at 9:00 at night, and we ate until I think midnight. And they just kept bringing stuff out, and it was just one of those moments where these people just appreciate food and want you to enjoy it. And they were just asking, do you want more of this? More, like they just kept bringing things
That's
out. And
awesome.
It was all fresh. Like it was like pumpkin was big because we went in October, so we had like pumpkin pasta with different sauces, and like it was pretty spectacular. And we just sat there having a good old time and just eating until all hours of the night. And it was
So hungry right now.
awesome. I know, right?
Jeez.
That's great.
It sounds
amazing.
good, Tim.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. All right. Fantastic. Moving on to Facebook. Jason Lorette, rapid fire movie questions. Here we go.
Oh, yes, here we go.
Yay.
Ready?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, great.
It's likely to be my answer. Well, I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
pretty much. 16 Candles or The Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
I've only seen Breakfast Club.
I've only seen most of Breakfast Club,
Okay.
There you have it.
so I go with that.
Here's I'm curious about this one. Gremlins or Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
That's a toughie, man.
Shoot.
I like Gremlins, but Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think I'm going Ghostbusters on this one.
I can't remember Gremlins.
Oh,
Man,
I know I saw it, but I had to be a kid.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were.
I had a
Came out-
lunchbox.
I gotta go.
They came out the same summer, 84.
Did they?
Yeah,
I had a Gremlins
would've been
lunchbox. I
2
remember
years
that
old.
thing.
Man.
Summer '84. Yeah, I'd have been 2. I've got to say Ghostbusters just because of the effect it's had on culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I know
Definitely
Gremlins
more.
is up there too, but
I think Ghostbusters is a little bit more.
yeah, I ain't afraid no ghost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm barely Ghostbusters.
Which I am, but
Barely Ghostbusters. Sorry, so Ghostbusters squeaks it out. Okay. Back to the Future or Home Alone?
Back
oh,
to the Future.
doggone you!
Back to the
I'll go
Future.
Back to the Future. I do like Home Alone, but I gotta
Yeah.
go Back
Home
to the
Alone
Future.
is really good, but yeah, I think Back to the Future for me too.
I'm saying Back to the Future during all times of year except Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That-
If you would have
that's
asked
a
me
nice-
this a month ago,
Yeah,
the
it
answer
would've
would have
been
been
Home-
Home Alone.
Home
Yeah,
Alone's
that's
funny.
that's a very good compromise. I like that.
Yep.
Is that
All right.
fair? Just
Yep.
in the month of December.
Yep,
That's the only
that's
time
perfect.
Home Alone's over.
Yes.
Back to the
agreed. All right. Point Break or Speed?
Oh, doggone you.
Speed.
Why are you making me make these choices?
Are so good. These are so good.
Man, I haven't seen either in a long time, but I feel like I would like Point Break more.
I'm going Point Break, man. 100% pure adrenalin. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going Point Break.
I can't remember the last time I saw either of them though, but I have seen them.
I'll tell you what. If I'm flipping channels and Speed's on, I'm probably not watching it.
Yep.
If Point Break's on, I'm watching it.
Yep,
I feel like Speed would hold up better though.
You're probably right.
It's probably
I'm not arguing with that.
Probably true. All right. Top Gun or A Few Good Men?
Few Good Men.
Man.
Is that the You Can't Handle the Truth movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm A Few
Yes.
Good Men.
A Few Good Men, for sure.
Well, one is more like kitschy.
They're
and
very
the
different.
and
Yeah.
one is very serious. I'm going A Few Good Men because I think it was better just story-wise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just better. You can stick with better.
Yeah, we'll just stick with better. Did everybody go on that one?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Die Hard or The Rock?
Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah. Hands
Really?
down.
Yes.
Die Hard.
Not even
The
close.
The Rock is great. The Rock is great, but Die Hard's a classic.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I was gonna say Die Hard too, but as fast as everybody said Die Hard, just surprised me.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
Oh, that's such a classic.
yeah.
yippee ki mother liquor.
That's right.
Now I have
Okay.
a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
I mean, Bruce Willis, man, he hard to beat.
Let's go to the coast. We'll have a good time.
Look at you. Jason, thank you for that. That was a
Oh, I was hoping there's more. I was doing
I
good.
know,
Thank you.
I know. I could go all night with these. These are great.
We played a Who's Gotta Go the other day of comedians.
Ooh.
And it because I love these kind of things. So it was like a list of 5 or 6 comedians. It's like Martin, Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, Chris Tucker, and Richard Pryor.
Ooh.
And it said one's got to go.
Bernie Mac.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Chris Tucker's the right answer.
Yeah, Chris Tucker is the right answer.
I never
in
liked.
that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Chris Tucker's comedy, but I've seen a little bit of Bernie Mac's, and I wasn't impressed.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm also not a big comedy guy, so. But I was not
I had to
impressed.
take a breath just saying.
Sorry.
I'm so glad that you are not in smacking distance.
Just doesn't work for me.
What you talking about, Chris?
That's right. Exactly.
You must be lying.
Yeah, man, that just doesn't work for me.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
even a little bit.
Hey, that's his opinion. It's all good. It's all
Talking
good.
about some him downstairs. Who is him? Like I
Travis-
got no name. Oh my gosh.
Travis Pospisil, have you ever broke a bone, and what's the story behind it?
No.
No.
The story is I'm careful.
Yeah. The story is I'm not clumsy.
I used to ride my bike a lot, and there was a park, Percy Warner Park. It's got a lot of hills, and it's usually like a path, but it's a one-way path. You go the same direction, and it makes a giant loop. I was coming down a hill going about 30 miles an hour, and a woman comes up with her dog on a leash right in the middle of the sidewalk, and so there was nowhere to go because I could have gotten clotheslined by the leash or hit the dog or hit her. So I slammed on the brake, skid, and just went like over the handlebars, rolled, and basically fractured my right arm and took myself to the emergency room. There was a Good Samaritan couple that was near, and they drove me and my bike to the front of the park. They put my bike in my car, and I just had to like hold my right arm and drive to the emergency room because Lauren was at work.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That is
Had
nuts.
like road rash all up and down my back, and and cracked my helmet in two, split it in two. So
Whoa.
thank God the helmet was on because I could have cracked my
Dude.
skull. Yeah, it was nuts.
Wow.
What you got, Chris?
what
It's
you got?
nothing like that. I used to skateboard. I went to do a trick, screwed up the trick, and put my hand down and fractured my wrist. That was it.
Yeah.
It actually didn't. It wasn't until a week later that we went and found out that it was actually fractured. So like it wasn't the worst thing ever, but yeah, that's the only thing that I've ever fractured or broken or
I've
anything.
never even been stung by a bee or like a wasp or anything.
You
All
haven't?
right, cool. Come on over.
No.
Let's have some fun.
I have been stung by a wasp.
In this 12-degree weather where bees are prevalent.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
There's bees everywhere. It's a swarm. Okay, Brennan Levitt. I know we kind of talked about this last week, but who are you picking to win the Super Bowl? I got the Patriots winning in a close shootout. Go Pats. Moving on to Twitter, Jeremy at Jarrett45.
In terms of who will win, I honestly have no idea because, I feel like everybody assumes the Patriots are going to win, but they also thought everybody assumed the Patriots are going to win both times they win against the Giants, and Giants beat them. It's like any given Sunday, like Gabe was saying earlier. So
And everybody assumed the Falcons were going to win when they were up by 30 in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. I want the Rams to win. I'm pretty sure the Pats are going to win. I don't even know if I'm going to really fully watch the game because it's just me and Piper on Sunday. So we might go do some fun stuff, and if we happen to make it toward the evening, great. But I don't know. We'll see.
I'm torn because I don't mind people that are amazing at what they do.
Yes.
Getting the accolades for being amazing. So I'm not a hater on Tom Brady because he's the GOAT. Do I hate that they've cheated over time? Of course, and that puts a little asterisk by their name, or asterisk, or whatever you say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So I'm torn. Like either one winning, I can find the silver lining. But I don't have I think the Patriots are good at done, but they lost to the Titans this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just never know with these people.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Edward, do you even care?
I do not care, so I will not be watching. Therefore, I will be winning.
Yay!
You're not even going to watch for the commercials?
Yeah,
You'll be able to see them all online. Most of them, I think, you can see right now.
They're already posted. Yeah, you can watch them now. Which
is
I'm
so
not
weird.
I don't like that at all.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, why do those people spend that much money when it's just going to go online the week before?
It's ridiculous.
It's horrible.
You're right.
It seems
absolutely
crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. Yep. All right, Twitter, Jeremy at Jerry45. When doing your own electrical work in your home, how many times is it acceptable to get shocked before calling a professional, asking for a friend?
The answer is zero because I never do electrical.
Yeah, I don't mess with electrical.
No, man.
The answer is zero. Shut the breaker off to that room. That's all you got to do. I've put in dimmers and timers before. If you shut off the breaker, you will not have that problem.
I've changed almost every outlet in my house, and we've replaced almost all the lights. And get over your pride is the only reason you would get shocked is because I'm going to just do it real quick. And leaving the electricity on is one of the stupidest things you can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the professionals...
That's like trying to do your plumbing with the water still on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why would you?
That's a very good analogy. Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, the professionals make it look easy. Like we had electricians come in. They didn't even shut the breakers off. They knew exactly what they were doing. As long as these don't touch, we're good. Bop, 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 boop. It was done. They're professionals. That's what they do 24/7. That is not me. I'm shutting that breaker off and taking my time. Even if it takes me an hour, I will take my time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
yes, I almost got shocked once because I was being big man on campus, and I knew that like if you turn your light switch off, then yes, there is no electricity going to that light, and you can do the things.
Unless it's a three-way switch.
No, I have a 5-year-old roaming around that's like, why is it dark in here? She flips the switch on. It sparks, scares the crap out of me, and I was like, you know what? I'm turning the breaker off.
Yeah.
Go back inside. I'm turning the breaker off.
Exactly. I thought you was watching the Pajanimals or whatever they were freaking called.
The pajaminals.
That's a true thing. That is a thing.
Get back in there and watch Backyardigans.
All right. That's awesome. All right, we got two more. At Mr. Killjoy756. First, I just want to say I'm enjoying the show. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the last one because I got mixed up. First, I just want to say I'm enjoying the show and look forward to each episode every Friday.
Hey,
it's a great kickstart to my weekend.
Yes, thank you.
You could get it on Thursday if you wanted to be a patron. Just saying. Wink, wink.
Dudge, yeah.
Yes. Question: on Super Bowl Sunday, what commercials are you anticipating to see? Me, hopefully a Star Wars Episode 9 trailer.
Ooh, that would be dope.
That would be very dope.
I didn't even think of that. That'd be great.
I didn't either. That would be incredible.
Shoot, that's a great question. I have no idea. Like, that's what I love about the Super Bowl is I don't watch anything where they're like Super Bowl ad. I'm like, nope.
I want to watch them on Super Bowl. Yeah,
I like to be surprised.
Yeah. So while you're not watching.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, while you're not, yeah, exactly. Star Wars Episode 9 would be good. I would love that, actually.
I love the movie premieres.
Yes, me too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Any movie trailer I'm in, I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah, that's
And I
awesome.
feel like they've been able to cram a lot of heart in commercials lately.
Yep.
Oh,
To
yeah.
where I'm like, am I in my feelings right now over
know,
some Budweiser?
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I
So I just
amazing.
love the creativity. It's one of my favorite things about theme songs as well. The fact that you have to get so creative in a minute or less.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And can capture somebody. I just love that. So I'm down for commercials all day because
Absolutely.
that takes special skill to be able to tell a story that quickly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Good question, and thank you everyone for all of the questions. We had some good ones. Keep those rapid fires coming too. We love those. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Follow up on the movie one. Round 2.
All right, we'll do a round 2.
Okay.
Some it's all you, man. Rapid fire movie.
I thought you had one,
questions
Chris.
number 2.
No. I was asking for
Ed
round 2
already.
next
He's
week.
like, all right, let's go. We got all night. Let's go.
The question of the week for you guys is, what is your favorite vehicle from gaming? It can be something you flew. It could be something you drove.
Wow.
What is your favorite
Calling it now,
vehicle?
Matt Lighty's going to say the Warthog.
He better not say
course.
Warhog. The Warhog is not that dope.
I bet you it's his favorite.
Well, you know what's funny? I don't really actually have an answer to this question. I came up with a question without really having an answer.
don't?
Oh,
I don't,
I got it.
but-
I got one.
Okay, you go ahead, Tim.
The buzzer in Far Cry 4.
Ooh,
That little
nice
sit-in
one.
chopper, that was so much fun. On top
Hated
of that, no, man, the best thing is you get up and then I use that thunk everywhere I went. I got so many of those vehicles and those whatever they're called that oh gosh, forget it. Move on.
Okay.
The caravans, like those
Caravans, okay.
Yeah, the I got so many just using the buzzer and my grenade launcher. It was amazing.
Wow.
I'm fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
We just hit your bedtime.
Dang, man, what is my deal? Wow.
Dude, it happens. Don't worry about it.
Edward.
Jeez.
I'm not a car guy, so I don't even know what kind of car it was. But whatever kind of car I had in Mafia 3, the basic one that you get,
Yes.
that one was cool. I like that one.
I took the big boat ones. I don't know if it was a Cadillac or something but the really big, wide ones were awesome. Oh, good call, man. Mafia 3.
Big body Benzes.
Beamer Benza Bentley.
And then Christopher.
Shoot. I mean, I'm a car guy in general, so this most recent Forza Horizon, I did really like the Mustang that I had in there. I don't remember. I think it was a GT350 that I was working on. I need to get back in there and play that a little bit more. But the first one that came to mind when this question came up was the Sparrow in Destiny 2. I really liked buzzing around
nice.
in the Sparrows.
Sparrows were great.
Yeah.
So my answer, a lot of people didn't like. I don't know why I liked it, but in Arkham Knight, I really enjoyed the Batmobile.
I did too. What was wrong with that?
People were tripping about that thing.
Nah, man, I didn't like that at all.
I know, but I like the way you could go to a tank and you could strafe and everything. I thought the Batmobile was dope in that game.
I thought it looked really cool. I did not like driving it though. The little bit I played.
And then I love the I don't know what car it was. I just loved driving around in Driver, that first Driver game that came
Oh,
out.
really?
I loved that car. Yeah, I just loved driving in that game. So I don't know which car it was. But
Oh, I got to give props
That's me.
to Dry Bones' vehicle in Mario Kart.
hey,
all right.
Hey,
What
hey.
is it? Well, I guess it's not like a real car, right?
Was it
Was
like
it
a
like a-
Flame Runner or something? Was that it?
Flame Runner. It's
Oh,
a bike,
cool.
isn't it? It's not a bike.
It's a bike.
cart. It was a bike.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
That is my jam, man. I love that one.
There you go. Yeah, well, let us know what you guys' favorite vehicle from gaming is, and we'll talk about it next week after the Super Bowl. It's crazy times. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken, and we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. What a